In this video, we're going to talk about how you add a student and how you add that student to a tutoring group, and by extension to a tutor. So first I'm going to log in. I'm pretending to be Donna Linens again, so thanks Donna. And she's in New Mexico, so I make sure New Mexico is selected, and I hit go. This brings me to the home page here in a moment. Yep, there it is. And we're going to return again to roster, which is where we are looking at all the people and the schools and the classes and everybody. So we go to roster. There's Mary Contrary, the tutor whom we added in the first session. And there's the Mary Contrary class, which is the class that we added in that second video. But there aren't any students. So we're going to go down to the bottom left again, as always, and click on Add New Student. We'll put in the student's first name. This is taking a long time because I'm trying to think of what name I want to use. So this is Bobby, the testing pro. We will have to add his ID. You see that red asterisk there, meaning it's required. So there's his ID, and we have to select a grade. Now, the last thing we need to add is a username for Bobby. And just below there where it says school assignment, you'll see that the school has already been selected. Okay, how does that look? Let's try to save it. And we're not going to be able to. Sure enough, it's asking for a password. Okay, so let me add a password over here. As always, try to come up with some sort of common naming convention for passwords. Each person will probably need his or her own password, but come up with some kind of a system for that and make sure you write them down. Okay, so there's our first student, Bobby the Mr. Testing Pro. But look, he has no classes, so we've got to fix that. We're going to edit him, and what we're going to do is we're going to assign him to Mary Contrary as the tutor, and we're going to put him in the tutoring group or the class called Mary Contrary class. So that's where he's going. Okay, so let's go back to Bobby Testing Pro, and we're going to edit him. Now look, class enrollment. The user has no classes because he hasn't been assigned yet. So we're going to say add him to a diagnostic and instruction class. We click on that. We have the list of classes, which we've already made. We'll click on Mary's class and say OK. Are you sure you want to do this? Again, OK. Alright, he's in a class. We can also add some demographic information. If you have the information added, some of it will probably be useful to you, like ELL, grade, those kinds of things might be useful as far as making an assignment, but otherwise, if you don't have the information, don't include it. Alright, we're saving him. There's Bobby Testing Pro. He is in a class now. There are also a few other ways we can add a student to a class. We can go to class and then say edit the class. So there's Mary Contrary's class. Let's go ahead and edit that. Now over here you see the student enrollment tab, and there's a student that we can add, Bobby Testing Pro. So from this screen, we can add additional students. This might be very useful once you have your tutor set up. If you want to start adding students to the tutor, you can start with a class and then draw students into it, as opposed to how we first went about this, which is to create the student and then push them into a class. So it's not very difficult. There's a couple of different ways. The best thing is probably to do a bit of exploring. And we're back to Bobby here. But Bobby's all set up and ready to go.